It's 3 to 4 feet taller than reality. Its ropes are red, white, and blue. Its platform is blank stretched canvas. They say it's built for a man. There's room for my competitors and I. There's corners and centers, punches and knockouts, blood, sweat, and tears. Entrepreneurship is a boxing match. But we, the women, know how to stay light on our feet. We slide past insecurity. We shuffle through sexual harassment, me too. We duck, then jab, then land, and suddenly, the predefined role of woman calls our name. Wife, mother, feminist, auntie, babysitter, nasty woman, pow. Right in the kisser. I fall. Face against platform, I heard my ego crack when I realized that my male competitor has more mirrors in his dressing room. You're a woman. This is not your place. The referee counts down. You don't belong here. VCs from people who look like them and I don't look like them. I didn't learn how to box in school. My parents are not boxers or coaches. My life is just a corner. 8, 7, 6, I breathe. This game is rigged, but fuck that. I'm the only species on earth that can bleed for a month and not die. I am badass. Even if I bow out and get a corporate job, I would still make less than the man who would scrape my remains from this platform. 5, 4, 3, get up, girl. Pin a Nike commercial to your memory. Remember that you don't get in where you fit in. You fit in until you get in, because fitting in is about character and getting in is about access. You're already in a match. Get up. Bite the hand that feeds you, boy. Burn the bridges you never want to cross again. You got this. Slide, duck, jab, land, and remember that you know how to stay light on your feet.
Welcome to Black Girl Ventures Pitch Competition. I am Shonda Lambert, the COO of Black Girl Ventures, and you are now watching BGV and Kim Crawford pitch. It is the largest competition for Black and Brown women founders, combining the premise of Shark Tank and Kickstarter to give you an opportunity to be part of an entrepreneur's journey. The idea for the BGV pitch actually comes from Black history. In the early 1900s, during the Great Migration, white landowners raised the rent and Black people through what's called a rent party. This is where admission fees help people stay in their homes in these communities. These were not your ordinary parties. You had people like Langston Hughes, Fats Waller, and Duke Ellington helping with these events. Now here we are, our ancestors' wildest dreams, providing access to capital through community. You will watch 8 awesome women pitch their businesses to a set of judges. Each participant gets 3 minutes to pitch, and the judges do not determine the winner. You hold the power. You will vote for your favorite pitch at www.sheraised.com, and participants will win a mix of capital from the audience, capital from our sponsors, and the BGV Startup Package, which includes access to an accountant, business coaching, Salesforce Essentials, and Google Cloud credits, HubSpot for startups, and so much more. We are so excited.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Donna Beasley. I am with the Zoom Kids Book. I'm a publisher, and we're creating diversity in children's books. And one fun fact about me is that I am writing an adventure novel. All right.
Hello, everyone. I am Willie Williams. I am a BGV board member. I am an emerging market strategist, as well as a supporter of women's entrepreneurs. Fun fact about me, this is my second COVID epidemic.
Ooh, what was the first?
I was in Hong Kong for the first one.
Hello, I'm Liz Harris. I lead the Wine and Spirits corporate strategy team at Constellation Brands. Fun fact about me, my husband and I had the same last name before we got married. And still do.
BGV Pitch is the largest pitch competition for Black and brown women founders. We combine the premise of Shark Tank and Kickstarter to give you an opportunity to be a part of an entrepreneur's journey. Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com, select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you loved, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders. Your donation keeps a Black or brown women founder in business. You are changing the world with Black Girl Ventures.
I want to start off with a question. Do you know who the second largest polluter in the world is? If you don't, that's fine. I didn't know until 2015 when I was diagnosed with biotoxin illness. But you may be interested to know that the trends in the clothes that you're wearing on your back may be killing you and also harming the environment. Let me explain. It's due to overproduction and fast fashion. We are creating way too much inventory that often ends up being burned or in landfills. And also overproduction is becoming a contributor to marginalizing communities, exploiting Black labor, exploiting Black bodies, and also exploiting Black trends and creativity. But what if we could do fashion different? That's the thought and idea that came to mind when I launched my brand, Vertical Activewear. As a slow fashion brand made on demand from recycled plastic bottles, plant-based materials, we're inclusively made, we're consciously manufactured, and we are mindfully shipped for low, moderate, and high impact sports so that you can look good, feel good, and do good. We're going after the $567 billion activewear market that's being driven by women who are socially conscious and health conscious. And we're really doing that by putting eco first, while also focusing on size inclusivity and sport inclusivity, something our competition just isn't doing. Our idea is simple and radical, right? So you go online to our website and you place an order, and we cut, sew, and ship your order to you in approximately 10 to 14 business days directly from one of our manufacturing partners. To date, we've raised $35K in funds from friends and family, angel investors, and also grants like the Be Good Foundation grant from the NAACP and Beyonce. We've seen an increase in traffic since COVID, and we also have a 55% profit margin. We meet our customers online through social media and also grassroots public relations efforts. And though we're direct to consumer, we're having conversations right now about providing our product and service to some of the larger retail companies for their e-commerce departments. Our strategy is led by a robust team of women. We have over 125 years of collective experience in marketing, merchandising, and manufacturing, led by me, the CEO and founder, Tia Robinson. We're looking to raise $150K through donations and funding. And also with that, we'll be able to generate $375K in sales and divert over 100,000 water bottles from out of the oceans. So I ask who's ready to join us in looking good, feeling good, and doing good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, this is pretty exciting. I'm an activewear wearer, so I was really excited to hear about your company. And tell me a little bit about how you're selling direct to consumers. I know you mentioned social media, but how is that turning out in terms of, generating revenue on a monthly basis?
So we've been reaching out to our customers, focusing on social media in a few ways, right? So getting out to our customers and growing our email list, right, is first and foremost. So one, we've been talking to people, just letting them know who we are and what it is that we do, right? And also incentivizing them to come to the website, get a discount coupon, and try the product, right? We also are reaching out to them just to be able to introduce new styles and new sizes and colors and things of that sort. So drumming up that excitement when we're dropping a new look. And then we're also educating our social media audience in terms of what fast fashion is versus what slow fashion is. And it's definitely resonating in terms of people having an aha moment about being able to buy sustainable apparel. So we've been working from a social media standpoint to really deliver those points, and also working on doing things such as like IG takeovers, and also PR efforts, being able to push those to get coverage in some publications, blogs, and get mentions through influencers. And so it's been doing good to date.
Tia, thank you for your presentation. That was great.
Thank you.
With regards to your future, do you see the bigger market for you and your company as the eco-friendly community or the athletic wear community? They seem to kind of overlap a bit, but it seems like a great opportunity.
Actually, both. So definitely focusing on eco from an athletic standpoint. I was the type of person, I worked out 6 days a week. Definitely prior to me getting the diagnosis of biotoxin illness. And so active lifestyle has always been something that's super, super important to me. I love active wear. I'm always purchasing it. I wear it when I'm not working out. So definitely focusing on the active wear market. But as we grow, we really want to own this sustainability piece, right? And being able to be a leader to talk about sustainability and to talk about mindful or conscious manufacturing is what I've been calling it. Just in terms of having people start to think about, we don't have to produce apparel in the way that we've been doing it for eons. It's definitely at a cost, and there's definitely a smarter, simplified way of being able to do that. So though we're starting here in the activewear market, definitely see vertical activewear moving and being a leader, a thought leader in the sustainable and conscious manufacturing space.
Thank you.
I have a question about your fabrics. Is there anything proprietary from a materials standpoint that you either have access to today or have on your radar to develop in the future? Or are you just working off of kind of the base materials that exist in the factory community today?
Yeah, right now we're using the innovative fabrics that are coming out and available to the community. So recycled plastic bottles is one, plant-based materials, but then we're also talking to our fabric distributor just in terms of coming up with a fabric that would be exclusive to our brand and what that would look like, right? So we always want to be open to what that new innovation is as it relates to sustainable fabrics, eco-friendly fabrics, and that technology. But we also see ourselves as being able to get in on that innovation as well. And so, yes, conversations are being had to be able to come up with the proprietary fabric specifically for vertical activewear.
That's great.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you love, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders.
Hello there, my name is Fallon Keplinger, and I make carefully blended tea infused with CBD. In 2018, my mother suffered a back injury that left her in a great deal of pain. After being prescribed opiates and worried about the side effects, I decided to make her edibles. When she was well enough to go back to work, she needed something to manage the pain and keep her functional. That's when I had the idea for Rose Glow Tea Room. No, I didn't send her to work high. CBD doesn't get you high. Throughout my mom's ordeal, I suffered from anxiety and stress. I know stress can be limiting mentally and physically. People who tend to experience stress at higher rates include ethnic minorities, women, single parents, and the people responsible for their families' healthcare decisions. This has only gotten worse since the pandemic. Unfortunately, cases of chronic inflammation, stress, and anxiety continue to rise. which intensifies other conditions. But what if you could ease all this by simply having a cup of tea? Besides its great taste, tea contains L-theanine, which improves mental function. Tea also contains polyphenols, which can help reduce the risk of developing chronic diseases. CBD helps signal receptors in our brain, telling us to slow down when we are overwhelmed. Tea combined with CBD offers complementary benefits to help soothe the symptoms of stress and anxiety. People are becoming more open-minded about CBD. The number of baby boomers using CBD is equal to that of millennials, and beverages are considered the most accessible way to consume CBD. I have 3 tea blends. Each bag contains water-soluble CBD, offering you a way to control your wellness. I am in 4 DC boutiques, a store in LA, and a store in Honolulu, as well as my online shop. I have been fortunate enough to collaborate with other companies committed to self-care. I have been featured in Mary Jane magazine, and I was a finalist at the 2020 World Tea Conference for Best Tea Campaign. In addition, I'm a certified tea sommelier, and I'm certified in herbal studies. My greatest accomplishment is hearing about the customers who have a better quality of life since using my tea. Since I currently run this business on my own, the money raised would allow me to use a co-packer service to improve my fulfillment and manufacturing process so I can approach more stores to sell my tea. I would also like to create more blends that utilize adaptogens, which promotes homeostasis. Our mission at Rose Glow Tea Room is to give anyone experiencing stress or anxiety time to hit the reset button while enjoying our teas with poise, grace, and elegance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Fallon, I was really excited when I visited your website because I am a huge tea drinker and a big tea fan. And I actually didn't realize that it had CBD in it till I was like all the way through at the end. So I think, first of all, that you have a great site for us tea lovers. And I wanted to just ask that as a, can your tea work with normal drinking, people, or is it really only people who are suffering from, say, problems with anxiety or stress or sleep disorders? Or is it possible for someone to become a customer of yours that has none of these issues but just loves tea?
I think if you just love tea, you can still drink this tea. I don't think you would have any adverse effects. I have thought about making some blends that don't have CBD just for people who are not there yet and not ready to try it. But I've just seen so many people, like my mom, get better from using my tea that I thought, maybe if it helps her, it can help other people. So I wanted to give it a go.
I think there's a large target market for you. So I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Hi, Fallon. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
I'm curious as to how will you look to acquire more shelf space for your company? I know you mentioned partnering with a variety of boutiques across the country and offshore. How do you see that progressing going forward? I think you have a great product.
Oh, thank you. So I think to stay true to me, I would prefer to be in boutiques versus bigger stores. I like destination shops where people go there because they love the store. So I would like to try to get in more wellness areas, maybe yoga studios, wellness studios. I would also like to get into dispensaries if I could. And then just like local mom and pop shops, I really like the support that I do get from being in small business stores.
Okay. Thank you.
I think your branding is outstanding. The first thing I thought of when I looked at the products on your site was I could see it on Goop. It feels very elevated and really, it just really resonated with me. So I think it's fantastic. Another area that I was thinking through for you is, have you considered any sort of personalization elements where you could curate or suggest a routine for a customer, depending on what their ailments are or where they are, to then ship them, here's a month's supply and you get 8 of X, 2 of Y, something like that?
So I have thought about creating a journal so people could write down what was bothering them when they took the CBD and if it helped. I would like to partner with other people in wellness to kind of create or curate a little self-care box that people could use. So that has been something that's been on my mind. I think once I have a team, that's something I would like to start to do. But since it's just me right now, it's something that I have that I want to do, but I just don't think it's possible yet.
Got it. Thank you.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you love, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders.
So traveling is a mission in itself, but traveling with kids is like mission impossible. My love for travel is so deep that it carried over to when I became a mother. People would always tell me that I wasn't going to be able to travel like I used to, but I refused to let anything get in the way of showing off my beautiful brand new baby. But anything that you can think of that could possibly happen to a traveling parent happened to me. From the airliner losing my stroller, to the rental car company not having the car seat that I requested, to being stuck in Orlando, having to wait hours for the ramp to open up just to get my car seat. So with the 15 years of experience that I have in the travel and tourism industry, and along with my background and degree in marketing and tech, I decided to create a solution of my own. And together with my team, we built TravelSys. So again, I'm Veronica Woodruff, the CEO and founder of TravelSys, an online platform that offers baby essentials and accessory rentals, along with concierge services to families who travel. Now, our solution is easy. It's so simple that even your 5-year-old can do it. It works in 3 easy steps: request, retrieve, and return. And all of our products are brand and color specific, so you know exactly what you're getting at pickup. Our gear is detailed and sanitized with eco-friendly products after each and every use. And in addition, we have a team of trained, polished, professional airport nannies, and they're vetted and ready to help you from ticketing to plainside and everywhere in between. Now, the opportunity here is huge. Direct spending on travel and leisure totaled $794 billion in 2019, and with the return of travel, that's expected to double. We plan on capturing a modest amount of this done through 3 different verticals, but a huge part of our revenues will come from our consumer market, which we're focusing on millennial moms who love to travel. These moms typically live in US metro cities, and they have early nest children in between the ages of 0 to 8. So now we do have some competition in this space. I mean, you can always roll the dice with the rental car company. And there are a few startups that are out there trying to attack the same problem. But the big difference that we have is that, one, we assure our customers through consistency of all of our products. Also, we have airport nannies who are on site and on demand. But the biggest difference is that we are a social profit company. We do this through our sustainable supply chain model. We're creating a new supply chain within the travel and tourism industry through the life cycle and retirement of all of our products. Now, we've come a long way from inception to date. We're holding a 98% satisfaction rate despite market-related conditions. And how we plan on infiltrating the market is through our AI and API technology systems, teaming up with the right partners to personalize travel needs. Now, I would not be here today if it wasn't for my team. And across the board, I can spend hours talking about how combined knowledge and industry experience totals over 100 years. But we have LinkedIn for that. What I'm here to tell you is that my team consists of both missionaries and masonries who are committed to being a part of the vision of TravelSys. Thank you for giving me this time. We're hitting the runway and we're getting ready to take off. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Veronica. I think this is a great idea, because there are always challenges when people travel. I can't even imagine how hard it is for parents. One of the things I wanted to know is I noticed that on your website, it said that you were only right now in the Atlanta airport. And I wanted to know how long you've been there, and then what is your, your expansion plan?
Right. We're right now we're only servicing Atlanta Airport, but we are in final conversations with 2 others. Our plan is to launch out of 4 of the 41,700 airports in the world this year.
All right.
Thank you, Veronica, for your presentation. I enjoyed it greatly. I'm looking forward to traveling myself. Can you tell me, how do you plan to, you mentioned you're going to go into 2 more of the 47,000 odd airports, but as travel resumes, how do you plan to scale around that? Because it sounds like currently this has been a great opportunity to kind of work out the model, but how do you, there's going to be a massive pickup in demand. How do you feel you're going to be ready to handle that, and how will you handle that?
So we plan on handling that through strategic partnerships. Okay. And these are strategic partnerships with corporate partners.
Thank you.
I think this is a really interesting idea. I'm curious to know a little bit more about how you're thinking about pricing and what you're doing right now to determine how much you'll charge for your services.
So we're in operation right now, and the prices for our products range between $15 and $30. Our concierge services average $30 per hour.
And are you setting a margin target for yourself and then just taking the cost and marking up, or how are you thinking about the value that you're offering your customers?
Okay, so we have healthy gross profit margins, and we get our products directly from the manufacturer, and we're getting it at a wholesale or in-kind rate, because again, they're a part of our revenue source. And so with that, we're only using those products up to 365 days of use. By that time, we already had, we would have already made back our investment, over the amount of times. And then at the same time, while our customers are renting out our product, they also have the option of buying it. And if you think about it, when is the last time that you were able to purchase a car seat, try it out for 5 to 10 days, and then, give it back to the manufacturer? We're showcasing these products from top brand manufacturers, and we're allowing our customers to be able to use these products on their vacation.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you loved, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders.
So I'm Paris, and I'm the founder of Picky Eaters. I'm a mother of 3, and my business was inspired by my oldest daughter. Growing up, all she wanted was fried nuggets, pizza, and junk food. I took responsibility as a mother, realizing, wait, I'm the one that gave it to her in the first place. So I introduced healthier meals, and it was a complete fail, as she often rejected to eat it, declaring, "Mama, it's nasty." But I was determined, and I did years of research on health and nutrition techniques. I applied the techniques of making her favorite meals healthier, hiding veggies, and turning her meals into fun food art. It worked. During my journey, I encountered so many mothers also wanting their children to eat better, but they were just too busy to fix it themselves. Some didn't even know where to start. So they often opted for fast, convenient meals like McDonald's and Burger King, who often market to children. Fast food tastes so good, but it also causes children to prefer fatty meals over healthy meals. So they carry this habit into adulthood, but it cuts off 10 to 40 years of their life from diseases like diabetes, cancer, and obesity. That's why I opened up Picky Eaters, to be a healthy, convenient kids meal option. We turn our meals into fun food art that appeals to children. And we have vegan items, and we never fry our foods. We currently offer home delivery and daycare catering. All you do is go online. For home delivery, you pick your meal and what time you want it delivered. For daycare, you fill out a form for a free sample of our meals and eventually sign a contract for monthly delivery. We currently operate in the local St. Louis area within a 15 to 20 mile radius. Within this area, we have 300 daycares, 102,000 children, and I'm excited about the new addition of our baby food line that is worth billions in its industry once we expand. By introducing baby food, this allows our kids to grow with our meals, starting from babies and ending at young adults. It also offers options for mothers with multiple kids at different ages. Other places that mother shops for fast, convenient meals could be Whole Foods that has frozen healthy kid meals, or drive-thrus like the Panera Bread Company. I have an amazing local team that I work with, and combine their professionals in the kid and health food industry. By the end of this year, I plan to have contracts with at least 20 daycares, have our fresh local baby food launched, and begin the process of planning Picky Eaters Kids Cafe. Within the next 10 years, our brand will consist of our cafes franchised around the world, located in neighborhoods and family-friendly destinations like the zoos and museums. Our baby food will be shipped worldwide with a special target on the African American community who's finally becoming more health conscious, but we're often left out of the healthy food market target. I'm asking that you help us give Meals with Meaning. We're raising $400K, but for every 1,000 we raise, we partner with kid-focused nonprofits to donate our healthy food kid meals. It takes a village to raise our kids, and I hope you all can be a part of the village to raise our next generation healthier. Thank you.
Paris, this is really a hot idea. I love it. I think you really hit on something, and I love your big vision. Okay, so even though you're working in one market, you see yourself portraying and selling and throughout the world and having your own restaurants. I'm all in. The vision's really wonderful.
Thank you.
But let's talk about the next, 12 months. What is it that you're looking to expand? What's your plan, your marketing plan to expand into those daycares?
Great question. So right now we have 2 contracts, and I've already talked to the daycares where we did kind of like a sample. We did some events and we did a presentation. They loved it, and we just cold call the daycares. I call and I say, hey, this is what we're doing, because I'm starting off, this is my new entry that COVID led us to. So COVID sucks, but it also had its benefits that I never thought about with daycare. So we cold call, and we start off with a presentation in the kids' room, and we'll say, this is an example of what we'll do. This is how your meals will look going forward, and this allows me to build relationships and also word of mouth. So we currently have 2 contracts with daycares, and I plan to hopefully do word of mouth and then also continue cold calling and end this year with 20 more daycares.
Thank you, Paris. Where are you located? Where is your located?
So we're located within a county within St. Louis. So the area is called Florissant. That's where I'm actually located, in Florissant. That's where our commercial kitchen is.
Thank you. I'm from St. Louis.
Oh, you are? Oh.
It's a loaded question.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I think this is a great idea. I understand the market. I understand why it's relevant. I'm curious with regards to the new baby food that you have added to your line of products. How do you see that fitting into your expansion plans relative to what it is you're doing as you onboard more daycares?
Great question, because I am so excited about the baby food. I have a new baby, and he's 1 now. But anyways, I make his foods every day, or I make them every other few days. And I make everything fresh. And I post them on my Facebook, and that's just what I do for fun. And I've gotten so much feedback just from so many parents that started to inbox me, can you make my baby? Do you make it? And I never thought about it because I was so focused on the food art, and it made me think and I started doing that during COVID. So that was another advantage of COVID. So it made sense, like, add baby food line, because it's all about capturing kids at an early age. So if we can actually capture them at 6 months where it actually really begins, they can graduate from the baby food line, go into our toddler meals, and then we also offer just, regular meals that's not in food art. And this allows them to grow with us. I thought about for the daycares that we do, we can also offer that as an extended service to the daycares as well. We can offer baby food, and then also just on our website where they can grow. And we also, the mothers that I've delivered to for home delivery, they've really requested prepackaged meals that we are now considering. And we can also just make that a part of our system. So we're actually just trying to figure out where's our area to shine now that so many requests are coming in on, areas that we can venture into. I hope that answered the question.
It did. Thank you very much.
I think your idea is outstanding. And what I think sets you apart, if I think about certainly the home delivery element, is the fact that you're putting forward a solution for the full family. So if you have a family that has to feed, a wide range of age of children, that you're able to give them the full solution, and it's not just for one of the children, and then they have to still source and prepare meals for 2 more. So I think that's really, really unique, and you should definitely distort your communication about that proposition. I had a more technical question around, is everything fully cooked and ready to serve, or is there any involvement on the part of the parents to finish the meal?
So that's another great question that has, 2 parts to that. So right now we do home delivery and it's next day order. So they place their order and we can do any prepping that we do that day, and the next day we prepare it in a timely manner that by the time that we deliver it to their doors, it is fully fresh, warm, and hot, ready for them to eat. Now, this is a great, it's been great, but we've also had mothers that have they've ordered multiple. So they don't just order one. They're ordering like this, and this is what I've been learning. They're ordering like 4 or 5 meals at a time with the goals of their child eating it for lunch and then eating for dinner. And then the next day, lunch and dinner, and the next day. And I've gotten feedback like, oh, the portion sizes are great, but one portion, they can eat it for lunch and dinner. So that makes the other meals that they're saving for the other days, they have to figure out how to hurry up and eat them so they don't go to waste. So that's why they ask for prepackaged meals or kits, where we'll deliver it and they can just put it together themselves, like the food art and the fun, and save it for later where they can just do it themselves, or we can just continue to do the home delivery. So it's kind of, where we just deliver it fresh. So we're actually just trying to see majority mothers, what are they asking for? Or maybe even doing both options. But right now we just deliver fresh, hot meals, and we're thinking of doing kits where they can just put it together themselves.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you love, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders.
Hi, I'm Mitch Gilbert and I'm the CEO of Oifem Tech Apparel. We make weed-friendly leggings that support feminine health. We're a strong investment opportunity, and today I'm pitching for the funds we need to be a major player in the $29 billion legging market. The D2C leggings market with the fintech spin is going bananas. Again, it's worth $29 billion globally, and COVID has helped because everyone is now wearing more athleisure, but the D2C apparel market was growing pre-COVID, and it's going to keep growing since the fintech industry will be about $50 billion soon. Despite the industry size, it has a fatal flaw. Our incumbents don't think about vaginas, so they make leggings that make women sick. And I know it makes people uncomfortable that 75% of women have issues with yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis in their lifetime, but to be candid, we have a lot of vaginas in this room, and 30% of them have bacterial vaginosis right now, according to the CDC. Add to that the fact that leggings make women 2 times more likely to develop vaginal health issues, and we have a big problem. We're the first brand to design leggings that address the legging vaginal health problem. Our leggings absorb leaks and increase crotch ventilation. They also make your butt look great, and they come in dope colors. We raised $20K in non-dilutive funding. We are finalists at HBS Harvard's pitch competition. We even filed a provisional patent to create a portfolio of patents and trademarks for future licensing opportunities. That's because we're no longer a theory. We are ready, and we have the product, customers, supply chain, and manufacturers to prove it. Our team has the expertise to scale and be successful. Up top, my co-founders and I represent brands like Nike, where I worked in apparel operations. This experience helped us build a supply chain with profitable SKUs. This is also my fourth company. Below, our advisors represent brands like Nordstrom. We're a D2C brand with 3 big targets. Our go-to-market strategy centers on digital marketing and influencers, and our progress shows that we can do this work. With an $85 price point, we initially have a $30 contribution margin that will grow to over $40 per legging as we scale. Early revenue proves that we're a strong opportunity. In month 1, we had a 5x return on ad spend, and evangelicals began singing our praises because we're addressing needs that our incumbents ignore. We have traction and a plan. We seek $600K to continue to improve the product, send to OBGYNs for endorsements, do marketing and PR, and produce more SKUs. We're winning already because the market is highly fragmented, it's growing, and women want our product. There's so many comparables out there like Spanx, Binks, and Carbon 38 who are making 8 to 9 figures of revenue each year because of their women empowering apparel. So with that, come join our legging revolution, and thank you for your time.
All right, thank you for your presentation. Another great product. I am curious in terms of how you're actually selling these to consumers now. You're selling direct from your website. Are you in any retail stores? Wasn't quite clear on that.
So we're direct to consumer. That's because the direct to consumer apparel space has been growing about 44% year over year since 2018. And so we thought that that was a strong play for us. We will be launching a Kickstarter soon. In addition to that, we've spoken to some retailers like Nordstrom to explore strategic retail partnerships in the future. But right now, it's just through our website.
Okay.
Which also has healthy margins.
Yeah, I did like your margins.
We're trying.
Mitch, thank you very much for your presentation. As a male who enjoys working out, I know the importance of quality apparel, so I can't even imagine how important it is for women. What other partners have you considered beyond the retail space in order to get your name and your brand out there? Because real apparel that works well is definitely, I buy it. So I know women are going to love it.
Yeah, so a big piece of our brand differentiator is that since none of our competitors are currently operating in the health space, we're looking for OBGYN endorsements. And so we've been currently we first begin targeting OBGYNs that have strong social media presences. And here are 4 who've already signed on. We've sent them versions of the product. They loved it. And so I think the OBGYN partnerships is huge. In addition to that, we're looking at health clubs and sports club partnerships, mommy groups and things like that, as well as like Silver Sneakers and those sorts of sports groups. And we have 2 signed so far, a basketball group for young women, as well as a fintech community that's focused on creating products distributing products that help support women's health. And those are the big partnerships that we're looking at right now.
Thank you.
I think this is really interesting because we've seen many different takes on the athleisure and athletic wear category. This may be one of the first that I've seen that has or is leading with a health or a wellness or a functional benefit. And I'm curious to know how you're thinking about, will that sort of be the umbrella or the platform of your positioning? And then, by the way, it happens to be that it's healthy and we're prioritizing the medical benefit, and it is leisure wear and it is functional? Or would you ever invert that to say we're a lifestyle brand that has this added feature? So I was just kind of playing through the paradigm in my head, and I'm curious to know, are you going to firmly root in and begin with the functional benefit you offer. And then today you're offering leggings, and maybe in the future there's a whole other category of business that you could lean into. And then what I was thinking through is it's almost like the proactive play where there was, a lot of facial cleanser and treatments in the market, but it became the medical community endorsed version that didn't require a prescription. So just food for thought. I'm just curious to know how you're thinking about it.
Yeah, Proactive and even Listerine, which created a category essentially for a wellness product where they were like, bad breath is bad. Doctors agree it's bad, so here, go buy this product. And to the first part of the question, our product is not high fashion or trendy. It's technical, and it serves a very specific market. Specifically, these three demographics of women who are not really addressed by our target customers, they're mostly ignored, including recent moms, menopausal women, and women runners. Our product roadmap, therefore, unlike our competitors, will not depend on like numerous SKUs and color waves and necessarily a lot of seasonality, but more so on developing convenient solutions like a luxe legging that eats cellulite, bike shorts for the spring, and eventually underwear, really driving home that health component. We think that that's a strong position for us because fintech is beginning to pick up. So by 2025, it's going to be a $50 billion industry. And we essentially want to ride this wave because we see that that's where the market is going.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you love, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders.
%60 of Americans have a chronic disease, and 40% have 2 or more. The average doctor visit is just 16 minutes. I've been rushed out of the office, and so have all of my friends. And women, BIPOC, and LGBT patients are more likely to have a hostile, dismissive, and negative encounters. I'm Candy Reddick, founder and CEO of Mindful Maroon, a tech-enabled platform that makes it fast and easy to discover radically inclusive, culturally competent, and high-quality holistic healthcare. 1 in 3 Americans are already trying holistic healthcare. Millennials are 40% more likely to. Interest in digital health platforms and holistic care have skyrocketed during the pandemic. And last year, Medicaid began covering acupuncture for chronic low back pain. Holistic care is here to stay. So this is how Mindful Maroon works. We connect people to yogis, farmers, wellness events, and practitioners of color. These holistic partners would apply for membership, and we'd carefully vet them. Seekers, those looking for the practitioners, would select their preferences, then browse results, and pick the perfect match for them, just like Airbnb and StyleSeat. So here's a member's profile page with clean design and all the bells and whistles. We go in real deep, and a person can apply 15 tags to find the perfect match. Membership is free for holistic partners and seekers, and we earn a 15% commission when practitioners are booked. Also on listing fees, community memberships, e-commerce, and revenue sharing with partners. We launched in 2020, and even though we're in a pandemic, 85 people came out in real life to support us. And we're currently onboarding 125 holistic practitioners, and they're going through a 4-point vetting process. Our go-to-market strategy includes partnering with associations and corporate wellness partners. And we already have a partnership with a co-working space with 300 members and a holistic wellness center. At $18 billion, the holistic practitioner market is huge. Unlike our competitors, we're user-friendly. We offer reviews and ratings, direct messaging, and better features, which means better matches. And we donate a percentage of proceeds to provide free wellness services for BIPOC. My team is ready to bring holistic healthcare to BIPOC. We just need support. So we're asking for $250,000 to grow the platform and build more partnerships and attract users. And I'm so grateful to be here. And thank you for supporting and listening. And we hope that you will get on board so we can bring holistic healthcare to more people.
Thank you.
All right, Candy, great presentation and really good need for what you're trying to do. Healthcare is, of course, the first wealth, and anything that can support that is, always worth investing in. So I'm always interested in, marketing. I mean, what is your plan? It was a little vague. So I want you just to tell me a little more about your plan over the next 12 months to actually drive traffic to the platform and therefore drive membership so that you can generate revenue. So basically, what's your revenue generating plan?
So one way is to continue pursuing high impact partnerships. So I touched on this. The co-working space that we have a partnership with has 300 members. And so we're going to target more of those spaces as well as wellness associations. So think about the Black Chiropractic Association, the Latinx Chiropractic Association, massage, Reiki, yoga. So every modality, which is also called a specialty or practice, has a related association. So we're going to aggressively target those, as well as launch Facebook and Instagram ads, because we have people very interested, and that's how a lot of people have found us. And so we're really excited about just expanding those efforts. And in the next few months, we'll be launching a crowdfunding campaign, which will help us accomplish more.
Hi, Candy. Thank you for your presentation. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
You mentioned you were onboarding 125 practitioners for 2021. Can you go into depth a little bit about your plans for expansion? Are you currently operating in one city? Are you prepared or set up to operate in multiple cities? Can you go into that expansion in a little more detail?
Great question. Happy to answer. So we have over 200 people that are currently in our database. And so 125 are the healers that we're currently working with. And so Mindful Maroon is a national platform, and currently we have over a dozen states within that database. And so what the onboarding process looks like is essentially doing background checks, making sure people, we verify their credentials where applicable, as well as checking their references, because we want to make sure people are staying safe. And I just want to be clear that some modalities are a little more open, but when it comes to body work, like massage and chiropractors, things like that, definitely there's licensure involved, and we will make sure that they have the credentials that they need.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I love this idea and the concept of offering access and giving people the right set of information to make decisions around what type of care they are seeking, and making sure up front that they are going to feel welcomed and have a strong relationship with their practitioner. I think anything that can help bring that forward and earlier in someone's healing journey is wonderful. I did have similar questions to Donna and Willie, both asked and answered already. But one other thing I was thinking about, as you mentioned, how you're thinking about partnering with and targeting larger groups. Have you thought at all about once you have more practitioners onboarded to your platform, could you go to a Google and partner with HR teams to help bring and support the actual patients or the users to make them aware and push them into your ecosystem?
So absolutely, that's a fantastic question. And right now, corporate wellness programs are booming. We're totally open to partnering with companies that share similar values, because we are a social enterprise, which is why, we have that social impact fund built in. And so that's absolutely a way that we can grow faster. A lot of companies are offering more benefits. So literally they are paying for these treatments, but they're also bringing in meditation teachers, yoga instructors, etc. And Mindful Maroon wants to be uniquely positioned to make it easy for companies to do that.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you love, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders.
So did you know that women are twice as likely as men to develop a major episode of depression or PTSD? Hi, I'm Colette Ellis, founder and creator of Tap with Libby, and a compelling investment opportunity to disrupt the $2 billion behavioral health market. We help women of color to tap away emotional issues from systemic racism and other personal events. The pandemic is shining a light on the mental health crisis in our nation, but this isn't new. For years, women of color have borne an emotional tax that makes us feel constantly on guard and increases our risk for developing mental health issues. If we're able to overcome the stigma and seek help, we're often misunderstood, given that only 14% of US psychologists may share our racial identity. Although studies show that marginalized groups may prefer virtual or digital care, the large majority of mental wellness apps don't specifically target our needs. Enter Libby, a chatbot specifically designed for women of color with instant support using emotional freedom technique or tapping. It's simple. Libby prompts users to tap on acupoints while speaking about emotional issues. The benefits of tapping are proven. In a 5.5-year large-scale study, 90% of patients who tapped, compared to 63% who got cognitive therapy, had reduced anxiety. We know we have a large market in which we can scale. Women of color were 20% of the US population in 2019 and are expected to make up the majority of all women by 2060. And women are 75% more likely to use digital tools for our healthcare needs. So you may have heard the phrase, our issues are in our tissues. That means we store emotions in our bodies. The main differentiating point here is that Libby encourages a somatic healing approach that includes the body, not just the mind, to help reduce stress and anxiety. Since launching our beta test last month, Libby has already had hundreds of interactions. We'll continue to acquire users and customers through our social network of over 8,000 followers and collaborations with BIPOC networks. Premium subscribers will be able to book virtual sessions with coaches and therapists for deeper healing. Relationships with inclusive therapists and Melanin and Mental Health will help fill the practitioner marketplace. We'll also leverage relationships to gain corporate clients. I bring over 15 years of experience in the wellness industry. Nick's contribution to build the web-based prototype was crucial to the beta test. My Dartmouth alumni and the DMZ Incubator Black Innovator Network will help us attract diverse talent and build out our team. We've raised to date $4,000 in non-dilutive funding, including a Facebook small business grant for Black-owned businesses. We're raising $200,000 in this round to build the mobile app and execute on strategy. Yes, our issues may be in our tissues, but Libby helps users to tap them away with a unique digital solution. Will you support us so that more women of color can tap their way to emotional freedom? Thank you.
Hi. Okay, thank you, Colette. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the tapping program itself. Now, how many on this app, how many variations of tapping sessions do you have? Because sometimes, you know, if you only have a couple people, after they do it a couple times, they don't want to move forward. So can you just tell me in terms of how your app is actually set up in terms of, and what it offers individuals?
Absolutely. Great question. So this initial MVP, what we're focusing on is what I like to call the quick hit of tapping. So it focuses on individual points based on the emotion. So if you tell Libby you're feeling anxious, she's going to guide you to tap on your under eye point. If you say that you are feeling confused, she'll tell you to tap on the chin point. So each of the tapping points are connected to emotions. And so that's the current version. session. We, for MVP plus one, we're thinking that we would include longer rounds of tapping. And then, as I mentioned, for paid subscribers, looking at connecting them with actual practitioners. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Willie, you're on mute. Tisk, tisk.
It was either that or the doorbell. Colette, thank you very much for your presentation. I enjoyed it. Can you go a little more into, how this tapping methodology sets you and your company apart with regards to the methods you're using to improve women's health?
Absolutely. Another great question. So we know that we're not the only mental health chatbot in the marketplace, but focusing on tapping versus most of the other ones focus on what's called CBT or cognitive-based therapy. And so when I mentioned earlier that concept of a somatic approach, which includes healing. So if you think about things like breath work and things like tapping, these are ways that we engage not just our minds, but our bodies in healing. So it has definitely been shown that that can be more helpful. That's not to say that anything against CBT. It's actually a way of including things like neuro-linguistic programming, energy work, because you're actually speaking about your issue as you tap it. And when I work with clients individually, they tell me that sense of not only talking about the issue and then tapping on it, they really start to feel the change because it changes your energy systems. These are meridians, without getting into too much detail. So you can really feel the difference. And that study that I mentioned, for many people, after just 3 tapping sessions, they started to notice that difference in their stress and anxiety.
Thank you.
I have a question around the treatment or the functionality. Is it a holistic program or regimen that you adhere to, or is it directly in response to an event or a circumstance someone is experiencing?
Great, another
is it
question.
Point in time, or is it a program or a regimen that you follow?
Actually, it can be both. So what we're doing with Libby is, again, as I mentioned, this sense of quick hit. We're all bringing the workplace into our homes, right, on Zoom. So something happens on that last Zoom call, you need to tap through that issue, right? So Libby can be that quick hit of tapping. When sessions are with other practitioners or coaches or therapists, right, then you have that opportunity to dive deeper. That was when I mentioned about deeper healing. When I'm doing a tapping session with a client, I ask a number of questions. What happened? What does this remind you of? When have you felt like this before? And we use those responses as the actual tapping script. So again, with later versions of Libby, we'll be able to replicate some of that. And then for the full deeper healing, it will be referring people to practitioners.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you loved, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders.
Hi, I'm Karen Dillon, founder and CEO of Foreverly. Question: what do you do when someone you care about loses a loved one? Well, over a month's time, I was met with death in 3 instances. I lost my grandmother, one of my best friends lost her mother-in-law, and my brother's friend experienced a miscarriage and lost her husband and dog in a car accident. I was overwhelmed with my own grief, and as an onlooker, I wanted to be helpful, but it was so challenging to determine the best course of action. With nearly 3 million people dying every day in the US, death is happening all around us. And 60% of people struggle to determine what to do for somebody grieving. So they choose the socially acceptable option and spend about $80 on flowers. But what if I told you that you could spend that $80 in a more impactful way? The solution, a Foreverly registry. A Foreverly registry List things you need in order to manage life while coping with grief. And like a baby registry, people can fulfill needs from the list. It's easy. First, add items such as food delivery or home cleaning services. Share the link with family and friends, both near and far, and recipients can view it and make a purchase. We drive selfless women to create registries by capturing them on social media, the primary channel they use to stay connected to the people they love. And network effects fuels our user acquisition. Today, the Foreverly Registry generates revenue through a one-time onboarding fee and revenue sharing model with merchants, and soon a fee on donations toward crowd-funded items such as massages or counseling. Our competitors focus on gifting across a variety of occasions, but Foreverly is differentiated by leading in the end-of-life space with exclusive partnerships and a vertical strategy. While we're pre-revenue today, we're so excited that our beta's launch. We have hundreds of users asking for new products that we're in the process of adding. We're running a pilot program with funeral video streaming providers to have the Foreverly Registry serve as an add-on. And we're partnering with a senior living facilities platform to test a new acquisition strategy. From expanding partnerships with funeral homes to launching our concierge service, Foreverly will own the end-to-end journey of death-related moments, such as pre-planning arrangements and managing the aftermath. With marketing and tech expertise across an array of areas, this is the team that's going to make it happen. And on a personal note, my experience as a hospice volunteer further inspires me to help people find peace amidst pain. So I invite you to my vision. My team is seeking $250K to hit the ground running. Please join us as we help people receive the space to heal. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiera. Nice presentation. One of the things I really love about your market is that it's really large and easy to reach. I mean, you're talking near funeral homes and, senior buildings and, all of that. It's a really great built-in audience for your market. And another thing I thought as you were presenting is also the emergency market. I think about what happened in Houston. My cousins were in Houston. They're part of the tragedy that was going on down there. And what do? I'm in Chicago. What can I do to help? The same thing could be applied in, tragic situations as well. So I think what you're doing is really great. One question that I had in terms of you getting started, this being a startup, in your beta testing, are you generating revenue or what's the goal of the beta test?
Yeah, we've been focused on the user experience. What we note about the end of life and death care space is that a level of compassion and sensitivity is extremely important. So we've really been laser focused on making sure our user experience is top notch. Now, as we continue to collect feedback, as more and more people use the product, what we're learning is that people want help with suggestions. People want an interface that's super easy to share. So to answer your question, we're really, really focused on the user experience, but the goal, of course, is to generate revenue from the registry.
Thank you, Kiera. Great presentation. I love this idea. Several things stood out to me. Kind of a tag on to that question with regards to revenue generation. I know you're focused on the user experience, but where do you see the revenue being generated and how scalable do you see this idea?
Sure. So if you just take a look at this slide, our goal is to capture just 1% of deaths in the US. On average, what we're finding is that a basket size runs about $300 and we take an average commission of 7%. Now, making over $500,000 on the Foreverly Registry is what's going to power our next development on our roadmap. I recognize today this registry is just a piece of what we want to build. In thinking broader, what I found was capturing people to pre-plan for their funerals or arrangements is really hard to do. People don't want to do it. But if I can meet you where you are, given that we're all likely supporting someone who's going through grief, I can capture you into my funnel and continue to bring you along the journey with marketing, targeting, and the like. Does that help to answer your question?
It does. Thank you very much.
I was actually going to ask you about what other products or platforms or life stage elements you had on your radar, and you beat me to it a little bit by outlining, getting people to start planning and thinking ahead. What does good look like for you? If you look ahead and, just assume wild success with your idea, what would your exit be? And you look back on the last 10 years and you say, wow, I've done X and Y and Z and Foreverly looks like this. How would you describe that?
I love that question. My goal is to become a publicly traded company. When you think about our life moments, having a baby, buying a home, planning a wedding, there are brands associated with that. But when you think about death, at least to my knowledge today, there's no brand that comes to mind. So there's this balance between creating a brand that people can trust, along with providing help with people that can last for eons. My biggest fear is that somehow immortality becomes a thing. But outside of that, my goal is that when you think of death, you think of Foreverly. It's not this discomfort you have around how do you support someone? Where do I start with a funeral planning? What do I do to make sure my kids are set up for success? It's let me go to Foreverly because I was exposed to it. I realized it's been a great experience. And this is something I can pass on to generations to come.
That is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you love, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders.
I just want to say to all of the women who presented today, you just really did an outstanding job. Your products are really exciting. Every single one of them has a solid market to pursue, and that's exciting. And I just want to add that as you look forward in building your businesses, that you focus in on looking at goals you can meet, on a quarterly basis. So you're not trying to project like way out, trying, what I'm going to actually be doing 5 years from now. Focus on what can I do today and this quarter to move my business forward. And every day and every quarter, you'll be moving ahead and gaining ground in developing and building your business.
I like to say thank you to everyone who presented today. It's unique that all the women who pitched today found something very personal to them, and they addressed a need that they experienced, and I think that really enhanced the businesses they're looking to build. I would add that for those who are looking to build businesses, to think what happens if this really goes well. And therefore, you will have to come up with a methodology to scale, grow, and address different markets that might not necessarily be your initial intentional market because the products are so good.
I would add, I think building on what Willie just said, assume success and plan around how to grow, and don't combat all of the small things that might go wrong, and don't let that shape your time. I can certainly attest to, given each of the business ideas we heard today, there is a material need and opportunity. And I was personally very inspired to see the convergence of community, connectivity, and self-care that came through in all of these ideas. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you for letting me be part of this. I can't wait to look back and be so proud of seeing you in your early days and knowing that, there's so much success ahead of you.
This has been another Black Girl Ventures pitch competition. It was amazing. The energy from the brands, the type of products. The voting is open right now. So you can go over to www.sheraise.com and vote for the founder's pitch that you love the most. The voting will be open over the course of the next week. So make sure you get in there and vote. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
BGV Pitch is the largest pitch competition for Black and brown women founders. We combine the premise of Shark Tank and Kickstarter to give you an opportunity to be a part of an entrepreneur's journey. Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you love, and don't forget to leave feedback and or hype comments for our founders. Your donation keeps a Black or brown women founder in business, You are changing the world with Black Girl Ventures.